They always throw away the first square of toilet paper in public toilets? I do now. Genius move lol. Honestly, I've never thought to do this, but now it's permanently etched into my brain. Forget where I read it, but I learned something far worse. 4 drug users will use toilet paper rolls to clear out their needles. They use their drug, then after they fill the needle back up with water, then poke the needle into the toilet paper roll, shoot the water out into the roll, leaving it for some unknowing person. I always look now if I must use the TP, and in 2 years I've found 2 rolls with a clear blood stain in the center. I take the roll and throw it into the garbage. I'd how easily blood-borne infections or diseases and whatever else could be transferred, but the people who do that shit should fuck right off. I always rip off the first few squares just to be sure. Not a germophobic, but just I don't trust the previous person who may have used the toilet previously. Not just the first square. I try my very best to avoid at all costs. COVID taught me that people really are disgusting. They bite/chewed their hair when they were younger? Yes. Until I watched an episode from 1000 Ways to Die where a girl died because she chewed her hair. I did that when I was a kid. Until my mother made me read an article about a kid who had to have a hairball surgically removed because they chewed their hair. To this day I don't know if it was real. Or like some kind of National Enquirer type of article. But it scared me enough that I made myself stop doing it. Never when I was a kid. But now that I'm 40-something and my beard is long enough, I find myself unconsciously chewing on it all the time. I stop as soon as I realize I'm doing it. But I can't seem to keep myself from starting again. I did that as a kid. It took a while to break the habit. Yup. And when I stopped chewing on my hair, I started chewing on my clothes, neckline and wrists. I did when it was wet. Yes. I used to do this. Would make the ends of my hair all crusty and matted. I can remember how it felt in my mouth. And I know that my adult self would not like the sensation at all. I did. But stopped when my classmate had to do surgery to take out a big hairball from her stomach. Yeah. I did that a lot when I was younger. Not really sure when I stopped. But one time my mom dyed my hair blue with Kool-Aid and I couldn't stop sucking on the ends of my hair. Lol. Probably not the best idea. Yes. And I hadn't thought of it in 50 years. Long straight hair and used to chew the hell out of it. Left it matted and gross. Mom would get so mad at me lol. What do you consider a good week? When I'm not physically or verbally abused at work or have to deal with behaviors. Or when I can look forward to a night or day out with my husband or kids doing something we enjoy, an activity or family/friend gathering. Add in a week where I'm not emotionally drained or feeling anxious/having panic attacks. A week with no fucking appointments and doing nothing but hanging behind the desktop watching YouTube videos and drawing in my sketchbook. I don't have a job, but I do have disability benefits, but because I also have depression. I have a shit ton of appointments with my therapist and other stuff outside of town. I probably should go out more, but I'm happier when I do nothing all week. Consistent productivity at work. I do tech support. So a good week for me looks like pleasant interactions with clients, challenging problems getting solved, with or without help from coworkers, fun and engaging conversations in the office. Also, going to bed early really helps set me up for a good day. If I make it to Friday, my one day off, and can genuinely do whatever I feel like doing. I have a job with weird hours and a lot of prep work. So there are way too many weeks when I get to Friday and still have shit that absolutely needs to be done for Saturday. And if I have to work on Friday, it means that it's not only been a bad week, but next week will probably suck as well. A week when my hormones are not an impediment to my productivity. I literally spend the week after ovulation. The week prior to my period and the week of my period unable to get anything done. Most days, I just want to sleep and have no energy to get out of bed. It really sucks because my hormones impact my mood. And 3/5 weeks of my cycle. It's rough. Knowing the type of guy you were when you were a teenager/young adult. Would you let your daughter date someone like you? My knee-jerk reaction is hell no. But ultimately it's up to her. I've told my kids the stories about throwing snowballs at cops, playing neighborhood basketball at 2 a.m., dragging shopping carts from the car, wrecking said car by taking it into the woods. But if she meets a dude with this same affliction for idiocy, I'll have little say in the matter. All you can do as a dad is speak your piece. Give them the tools. And then stand back. The interesting thing is men always ask this of each other, but women don't ask this to other women. No one at age 15 or whatever is a fantastic partner. Regardless of gender. Being a teenager is about making mistakes. Figuring out what you like, etc. I'm a woman and I'd never recommend to date me as a teen lamau. Also, parents don't let their kids date people. This whole question rubs me wrong. As long as you weren't abusive or assaulting people. It's not a big deal to be a teenager navigating relationships for the first time and fucking up. Girls do that too. Do we ask moms, knowing what kind of girl you were, would you let your son date someone like you? No. We don't. Fuck no. I was genuinely a huge piece of shit. To literally everyone. Because I tried to fit in. Being a kind, naive and gentle country boy. Moving into the city. It was bully or be bullied. And that mentality kept up throughout my teens. After the army, being 20 years old. I feel like I found myself again. Got my shit together and spent a couple of years looking up and apologizing to the people it wronged. So the equivalent to my teenage self? I would go to jail for attempted murder. My 20 plus self? Yeah. Sure. Why not?